It's time to wake up. The show is about to start with lots of stories about Pooh and her Christmas heart. When it comes to Joanne, no, you won't find no faults. But if you mess with the bull, you might get the schultz. It's time for Mornin. It's Morning with Bill and Joe. It's time for Morning. It's gonna be a holly jolly show. It's Bill and Joe.
Oh, please, God. You're one of them, aren't you? You're one of them. Oh, please, God, please don't kill me. Please, please don't kill me.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Relax, okay? I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm not gonna hurt you.
Oh, God.
What the fuck are you doing up there? What the fuck are you looking for?
I managed to get out of there. I was trying to get onto the roof to see if you could get a single out there. It's just right here. Why don't you come with me and help? It's,
Whoa. Slow down. Forget the roof. They got people all over. Come on. You want to stay alive? You stay with me. Hey, you smoke?
Yeah, thanks. So you don't work for Nakatomi, and you're not one of them.
I'm a cop from New York.
New York?
Yeah, I got invited to the Christmas party by mistake. Who knew? Well, it's better than being caught with your pants down. I'm John McClane.
Clay. Bill Clay.
Hey, you know how to use a handgun, Bill?
I spent a weekend at a combat ranch. Know that game with guns where they shoot red paint? Probably seems pretty stupid to you.
Well, time for the real thing, Bill. All you gotta do is pull the trigger. Come on. Let's go.
Das gut festen Flaggen, schmiegen schlagen, Spiegel, sauerkraut. Put down the gun and give me the detonators.
Well. Hans.
Put it down now.
You're pretty tricky there with that accent. You ought to be on fucking TV with that accent. What do you want with the detonators, Hans? I already used the detonators. Or did I?
I'm going to count to 3.
Yeah, like you did with Takagi. Oops. No bullets. Think I'm fucking stupid, Hans?
Beep. You were saying?
I just want to see my country be the best fighter pilot in the Navy, sir!
Hello, and welcome to Mornin' with Bill and Joe. I'm Joe.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. That's how it went, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I've seen that movie 30 times. How did I get that? Could have possibly gotten that wrong. Well, but it's like I'm seeing it again with fresh eyes, considering you and I made it better.
Yeah. Gosh, man, I need to really up my gym routine. Really concentrate on arm day because I had some muscles in that reenactment. I don't know where they went.
You were flexing the entire time, though.
I really was.
To be sure, yeah, you were very aware of the fact that you were Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Who,
God.
by the way, interestingly enough, though, at a time when everyone was cartoonishly, and some might say steroidally, jacked in action movies, Bruce Willis was sort of he was in shape dude, but it was sort of more of an everyman cop body, you know? It was not a Rambo thing going on in Die Hard.
Totally. Like, you really believed him. It added to the whole characterization.
Thank you. Yeah. And as we would have definitely not discussed in the past, that is one of several Christmas movies that come to mind that made a song that was not actually a Christmas song. In this case, Beethoven's Ninth. With Scrooge, you had Annie Lennox doing the remake of Put a Little Love in Your Heart.
Mm-hmm.
And that has since become very much a Christmas song. But before the magic of Hollywood, these were just considered ditties all into themselves.
You know, similarly, The Killers, I forget which song it is, but there's a song in The Holiday that is not a holiday song.
Oh, boy.
that I now associate.
I know that sun. Is it now considered a Christmas sun?
I
What do we
mean,
call
I
that?
always think of the holiday when I hear it.
Well, speaking of Christmas movies, let's take a gander at that shirt you're wearing.
Okay, for those who are just listening, my shirt
Yeah,
says.
I'll describe.
Okay, yes,
Oh my
please.
God! It said something about Jews. Joe,
How dare you?
Joe, it's Hanukkah too. And why is the carpet all wet, Todd? Very nice.
Yes, so for those who love Christmas Vacation as much as me, you know
Should've
that's
worn my
Julia
Griswold.
Louis-Dreyfus's line.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Fresh
he
off of
replies with,
Saturday Live.
I don't know, Margot. It's great. Classic.
In hindsight, is she accusing him of urinating on the rug? It's very accusatory.
I
Her
mean,
tone.
listen, wouldn't be the first woman to wake up to find her extremely drunk boyfriend pissing in her sock drawer. I'm not speaking from experience.
I do remember that story. How could I forget? What was the reaction? Were you just sort of like, you, and then made him clean it? Or was that that sealed the deal? Was the end of the relationship?
Also very drunk, so I was devastated. As it was happening, I was shocked and appalled and devastated. I tried calling friends. I wanted to leave and go sleep somewhere else, but no one picked up. He then tried crawling back into the bed afterwards, and I was nervous he had pissed all over himself, so I didn't want him in the bed. And then in the morning, he was mad that I was mad.
Sure. As he should be.
I didn't do it. And then he smells it. He's like, it doesn't smell like piss. And I'm like, yeah, you were so hydrated that it is mostly water, but that is still piss.
Did you keep the clothes or did you throw them away? I can't believe I never asked that.
So it was my sock drawer, and I had some gym clothes, and I'm not one of those people who wears the expensive Lululemon stuff to the gym.
Sure.
It's like old free t-shirts, that you would get on college campuses. And so we washed everything 3 or 4 times. And by we, I mean I made him wash everything.
That's good. Yes.
3 or 4 times with my own supervision. How did we get talking about that?
Well, I think I've told you this before because I'm sure I countered that story with this one. Perhaps there was a period where I might have would overindulge and occasionally urinate in the bed. And I can tell you're proud of me. And I had started dating this girl, and she was not happy about this at all. And some might say very angry. And she
I
had
wonder
to go
why.
she had to go to work that day. I somehow had gotten into my head that I was going to make this all better by I had a dozen yellow roses delivered to her workplace, and she didn't think that was amusing at all.
How about delivering a new mattress to her apartment?
But you get it? They're not red roses, they're yellow.
Yeah, wow. The fact that she, I don't know, only didn't like it.
No, she was
very good of her.
I was in the doghouse, quite literally. That's where I had to sleep for quite some time after that.
Yeah, well, speaking of animals,
wonderful Christmas topic, by the way.
Speaking of animals, you are in a bear onesie.
I feel bad for the people that are only listening because I'll put the bear helmet on.
Oh, the little hood is so cute.
I don't know if we use the word cute, but I don't know what it is. New York is overly heated.
Yeah.
We've discussed it before. It's because during the first pandemic of 1918, they wanted to encourage everyone to have their windows open, even in the depths of winter. And so all of the old radiators we have produce way too much heat. And that is very much the case with my place. And I find that the happy medium is me just wearing a lot of stuff rather than turning it on, because it's going to be relatively warm anyway. But if I even turn it on a little bit, you're sweating,
Yeah, we have 3 radiators in our apartment, along with several hot poles.
Oh, yeah.
And so now I am recording in a room that does not have a radiator. It just has a hot pole.
That sounds like a sexy North Pole.
No, I was going to say there's a sexy Polish person in the corner of my room.
Redundant. They're all hot.
So it's comfortable. And we only have one radiator on in the whole apartment. It's the one in the kitchen next to the stove. So we were able to manage or maintain the temperature we want. However, it is so loud. It's between a tea
Yes.
kettle whistling and sizzling bacon on a stovetop is what it sounds like. And when I have to do audition self tapes, I have to turn it off completely because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
so loud.
Well, mine is never fully off. It's always making some sort of little weird noise, or it
Yeah.
sounds like someone's hitting a fork against it, like
Yes.
And anytime I'd have a roommate that was like new to New York, they couldn't wrap their head around this. Like noises that you and I are just anesthetized to and don't even notice anymore. For them, this is just the weirdest thing. They think there's something wrong with the building.
Sure.
Maybe my place is going to explode. I'm like, no, it's just how it is.
Yep.
Thanks, Thomas Edison.
Yeah, there will be a moment where like sometimes it'll wake us up in the middle of the night, but then you just fall right back asleep. You're like, oh, it's the radiator.
Oh, yeah. I think that happened several times last night while in my onesie. I don't even feel comfortable wearing this for how awful the Bears have been this year. I don't want to support them in any way, shape, or form, even if it's just the animal bear. Well, what's new with you?
Well, today is Christmas Eve. We might be recording one day earlier.
Don't let them see behind the curtain.
So I am just enjoying the holiday season. I will be traveling only a little bit between the tri-state area.
We have similar travels tomorrow, I think.
What was that?
I think we have similar travels tomorrow. Yeah?
No, I'm going to Long Island.
Oh, we definitely do not.
No, unless you want to come. Douglas's uncle does a Christmas Eve gathering every year. So we'll be going to that.
Do you do any presents on Christmas Eve?
It depends. I mean, sometimes Douglas and I can't wait. So we'll be like, you can have one present on Christmas Eve.
Man, baby, and lady, baby. No
But
wonder
he's
you
really
guys
only getting one larger present this year. So I might make him wait.
What'd you get him? He's not going to see this.
No, I can't say. He's in the other room. He might hear me.
Oh. No, I really want you to say.
But I will reveal later. I will say it is an experience over a physical object.
Very gift of the Magi.
Well, it's just, gosh, you spend so many Christmases with a person. You're like, what else do I get them?
Oh, God, I'm right there with you. None of my presents are at all creative, although 2 of them have not arrived yet. So I did get a little creative. I almost forgot to show this to you. One second. It weirdly involves you.
Oh, gosh. Is it a picture of me? Oh, wait, you ordered my book, Let the Market Decide, for your family members?
No, I got an actual present rather than participated in wide-scale fraud.
Oh, no. Fraud is certainly not a present.
Well, but that would be the present if I got your non-existent book.
Gosh, Bill, your jealousy. It doesn't match your bear costume.
At some point, your present will be going to jail.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying? For taking money for a book you didn't write? You know?
Martha turned out even better after jail, so.
You can really put a positive slant on anything. So, as you know, it's the year of Wicked. I believe you watched it with a little can of champagne and cried. That's not a joke, people. So I immediately, after seeing commercial after commercial, did the little got on the family text. I'm like, if anyone's not gotten Georgia and Helen anything, I'll get the Wicked dolls because they're obsessed with this thing. And they're like, yeah, you got it. Well, I did it from Amazon. I did it like a week and a half ago. It's still not here or at my folks' place. So I made a card for them, and I'm going to give them this in lieu of the dolls that will be coming later. So there you go. And I'll have to explain. Boy. I don't even know if they're going to know this is me. And then I'm going to have to explain who this is. But there you go. That's their sorry guys, you have to wait a couple more days present.
No, you should tell them that those are the actors who are in the second movie.
The look of disappointment on their face when they realize what the Good Witch is going to end up looking like and how dissipated she ends up being. But hopefully they won't be too upset. Unless it comes today. I don't think it will.
Well,
very upset with Amazon.
I am doing really Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. It's Douglas's family. My family's getting together after Christmas. So
smart.
I have a little more time. Douglas and I decided this year, no one in my family watches, so it doesn't matter. Everyone's getting a book. Everyone is just getting a book. But it's nice and it's thoughtful because we went to Barnes and Noble and we selected books that we really felt each person would like. There's a gift receipt in there if they don't. But, it is both thoughtful and practical and not that expensive. So, but I found a book for my mother. My mother has pretty much already read everything. At one point, she was a member of 3 book clubs. She loves reading. It's most of what she does. And so, as a result, very hard to buy a book for. However,
Yes, I have the same problem.
she also loves, Mom, if you are listening, stop listening. I doubt she is, though.
She turned off after she saw her daughter green with sepsis in that
Yes.
wicked image that I
She loves the show Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And
you have the weirdest fan.
I know, there is a man, I think his name is Mark Field, and he wrote a book that's sort of like he writes essays, or it's his sort of
Please tell me it's a book of essays about Buffy.
he breaks down the mythology or the whatever with each episode.
Wow.
And so I feel like she has certainly not read that, probably doesn't know it exists, but I found it on Amazon, but I could only get it later. But thankfully, we're celebrating almost a week after Christmas. So,
well, now that makes me feel a little better. And was it an issue where Amazon didn't even give you the option of having the present?
Yeah,
come
there was
before
no
Christmas?
option.
I didn't even know there was no option until it said, and I did the quickest one possible, 27th to the 1st. That's my window.
Ooh.
Yeah, I do vaguely recall reading something. There's been an issue with Amazon. There's been strikes, stuff like that. So I'm assuming that's part of it. But man,
Yeah. Well, I know
screw
a lot
you,
of people,
Jeff Bezos.
I know a lot of people are really frustrated with Amazon Prime at the moment, and we have a Prime membership, and because it's no longer like next day. And this isn't just, I get holidays, it's busy.
So
and
this
like,
is a thing. Okay.
it could be hard, but like throughout the year, it'll then be like 2 or 3 day. Some things aren't available. And then some people are saying that the prices are increased for Prime members. So let's say you're buying a mop.
Oh, I don't know.
The mop might be $20 for someone without the Prime membership, but $25 for someone with it. And you're like, how is that allowed? What is going on?
Why are we encouraged to be a member of the Prime? Wow, I don't understand anything anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. But maybe if you read my book, Let the Market Decide, which is always available on Amazon Prime for next day delivery, you could learn a thing or two.
Well, now, Joe, you're getting your mom this Buffy the Vampire Slayer thing. Why not one of your multitude of books that you claim to have written?
Like the book Trauma-Rama, I got it from my mama.
I think she'd love that and learn something and realize that all of your problems you blame on her.
Yeah, no.
Oh, wait, because you didn't write it. That's right.
No, Bill, they were all at my book parties for each individual book. And at that moment, they, with their own monies, purchased them for themselves. And Bill, you never once showed up to any of my book parties, and I'm still upset about it.
I can't show up to something that is a thing. And I can't wait to quote you directly to your mom just to confirm this. Not that I don't believe you.
I mean, your sense of disbelief I cover in chapter 2 of Childhood Trauma-Rama. Something happened to you when you were young and you don't want to admit it, but it's really leached into your adulthood.
I don't recall speaking with your lawyers before it was published with regards to getting my permission to be in said book, but okay. A lawsuit is pending.
I mean, I didn't use your name.
Oh, all right. Well, that's happened.
I just called the person Dawes.
I'm like a pop star, just one name.
Yeah.
Hey, you like going to restaurants?
I do.
Have you heard of Bad Roman?
Yes.
You have?
Yes.
I totally went to Bad Roman this weekend.
How was
Friday.
it?
Oh, it was great. Yeah, it was really good. It made me realize, geez, I really don't go to restaurants like at all, particularly nice ones.
Who was paying? Because I know it wasn't you.
Certainly not me. It was my tip. Remember I told you for the
oh, yes.
Yeah,
wait,
yeah,
I want to
yeah.
hear first about the walking tour. You had some family and friends on your last one?
Alfred and Jonathan. See, the thing that they didn't do the math on is that I see anyone that's signing up for the tour. But I guess I saw their names on it, but so I wasn't surprised because I didn't see it until day of, so it was still kind of a surprise. But yeah, Alfred and Jonathan went on it. And then a buddy of mine I've grown up with and his 3 kids, although they're the type of parents where initially I was trying to censor myself because, as you recall, there's a couple of R-rated things on the tour, and they're like, no. Show, like, they all wanted to see the picture of Paul Castellano dead outside of
Yeah.
Sparks Steakhouse, all that stuff. They didn't care.
I mean, kids have seen worse.
That's true. See, I'm not a parent. I don't know what's acceptable.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, my tip was that I got to join them at Bad Roman. Oh, and a fun little celebrity New York thing. The hotel they were staying at, they were all very excited because they live in Knoxville now.
Okay.
So, this isn't the celebrity stuff is not as normal for them. They were all very excited because they just saw Melissa McCarthy checking into their hotel. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And then later on that night, because, I got a pretty extensive social schedule, I was by myself watching Saturday Night Live, and Melissa McCarthy was on Saturday Night Live. And I think that's why she was there. And the reason that she had just been checking in is that she did like 2 sketches. It was Martin Short. If you haven't seen some clips on YouTube, it was great. Martin Short, of course. But he was the host, and he had made it into the 5 Timers Club. And that's like if you've hosted so many times at Saturday Night Live, and Tom Hanks was in the skit, Melissa McCarthy, she's hosted 5 times, and you get like a robe and it was all that kind of thing. But I was like, oh, that's why they saw her. She was checking in the hotel for her Saturday Night Live cameo.
That is very New York.
Very, yeah. They were very excited about that. They liked a lot of her
So
movies.
how was the food at Bad Roman?
Great. And also, you know what, in hindsight, it doesn't matter because I'm sure I wouldn't be able to afford it. Best white wine I've ever had in my life.
Ooh.
Good part. I like it. I likes it dry. And I remember thinking, this is the best wine I've ever had in my life. Probably because I only have cheap wine, and they're rich. So I should. I was like the whole time. I'm like, I got to make a mental note of this white, and of course I didn't. But
I love
it doesn't matter. I wouldn't be able to afford it.
I love how I ask you about the restaurant, and like you don't even say what you had to eat.
We ate a lot of stuff because it was like a tasting thing. Because his wife knew the chef, or I don't think the head chef, but someone that works there.
Probably a general manager.
Something like that. But yeah, so we had a little bit of a lot of stuff. But it was really good. It was great. But yeah, and also just like listening, we do really live in a bubble. Just listening to them as Chicago transplants in Knoxville, it is just a different world. I mean, a lot of his neighbors pray for him because he doesn't go to church. And they're all like really nice, but like will regularly say to him, like, I just want you to know I prayed for you last night. Perhaps we'll see you next week or something like that. He's like, oh, thanks. Like, I mean, this is the world he lives in. It was a lot of stories like that. And I'm just like, and of course, that's like most of America. Like we're the outliers a little bit in our heathen lifestyles. But like, there's a lot of stuff like that. You
know what I find really, I'm genuinely curious about this.
I like it when you're curious.
So I like to try to pray at night. It doesn't happen often though, because I fall asleep immediately. But especially if it's taking me a second to fall asleep, I'll say some prayers, but I inevitably fall asleep during them.
I'm jealous.
And maybe it's just because I have a very large family, but by the time I get through all the family members and friends and people with health issues and people who have died that I have to pray for, I am tired of praying. I am bored out of my mind. So for a neighbor to add you to the list, that's insane to me.
Yeah, and it was more than one. And also, like, he's like the nicest guy ever. Like, there's nothing about his lifestyle or behavior or anything like that they would really have to pray for. It's just that he doesn't go to church, and they're worried that Jesus ain't front and center, which is the name of my Christmas special. But
it's gonna air right after John Mulaney's "Nobody's in L.A."
Yes, yeah.
Or everybody's in L.A.
Yeah, we got to pitch him a segment called "Nobody's in New York" for season 2. I thought you were going to say that you have a hard time getting through prayers because you are so perfect that you've done nothing wrong to ask for forgiveness for.
Oh,
I thought that was going to be your point. Yeah.
You don't really pray for yourself, Bill. That's not really the point. You could maybe pray for
forgive me, Father, for I have sinned type deals with you.
Yeah, but you should be going to confession for that. And then you're told what your penance is, which is usually Hail Marys and maybe a few Our Fathers. But no, you don't typically, like you aren't praying for what you want. You might pray for guidance, or you might pray for inspiration or something, or protection. But
well, Like praying for
Yeah.
condoms? Is that what you're saying?
Oh boy. Well,
Um,
I don't know that many religious people believe in condoms, Bill. So
I don't know why that's the case because they exist. I've seen
I
them.
know.
Sometimes they're ribbed for people's pleasure. Um,
Wait, that's
do
a
you-
great segue.
yeah, I was just looking for it. work on the segue while I find the article.
Sure. Well, hey, speaking of sexy Christmas gifts, every
Yes.
year we like to do, I don't want to say a deep dive, maybe a shallow dive where we often get injured, looking at Goop's Christmas gifts. They do what, like a guide, or is it the New Year gifts? I forget what they call it.
If you'd like to, I don't want to make more work for you than you already have. But if you'd like to throw in a what's in the box, I think this applies.
Oh, sure.
For a lot
Here's-
of reasons.
Oh, what's in the box?
Who's in the box? Oh, what's in the box? What's in the fucking box? No!
For those who have not seen Seven, spoiler alert, it's Gwyneth Paltrow's pretty head. Or in this case, my head,
Yeah.
as far as the graphics are concerned. So yes, as you said, Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop is out with its annual holiday gift guide, i.e. easy content for you and I every year.
Mhm.
The news outlet Quartz said, take a look at, quote, the most ridiculous, outrageous, and luxurious gifts. So much so that at this point, I feel like she's in on the joke. I think they throw in a couple of things in there that they know people aren't going to buy, and you know what I have. So one of them being a 4-month dating course for $25,000.
Wait, 1,000? I thought you were going to say 2,500.
25,000.
Oh my God.
I'm not reading that wrong. Yeah. I mean, if you have to pay nearly 30 grand for some dating courses, I think you're beyond help.
Yeah.
And I speak for myself on that, but I choose not to pay. So that's the most expensive one of the list that I have. Of course, I'm sure half your friends do this. A pickleball paddle, and that's not much of a headline, $95 for what is essentially an oversized ping pong ball paddle.
Yeah,
I believe,
I'm not
if my pickleball rules are correct.
I'm not in the pickleball space, so I'm not sure what the going rate is for that, but that does seem steep.
Seems a bit steep. Anti-hair loss baseball cap. Let me repeat that. Anti-hair loss baseball cap. Any guess? You like the prices, right? Give me the over under.
Okay. If I guess within $1, do I get all of the gifts?
If you get this out, and I'm not going to get it for you, but
Okay.
you get the wonderful thought of winning.
$375.
Close. $449.
Oh, okay. That is a lot.
Yeah.
How about just some hair plugs?
Honestly, the same amount of money if you go to Turkey.
Yeah.
And then my favorite. I don't know if we have visuals. The Prim sex pillow for, I have to say, the affordable amount compared to the other stuff of $195.
Okay, so I'm going to put a picture of it up. I know we all have in our mind this incredible image. Oh, a sex pillow. This is going to look sexy. It's going to have bells and whistles. It's going to be at least fringe. And here it is.
Or rubber. While you're showing this amazing
It is a
image,
pillow. It just looks like a round pillow.
By the way, bad on me. I didn't even click the image, so I'll be excited to see what this looks like. Urologist and sex educator.
Oh, is there any other kind?
Thank you. Kelly Kasparin sees a lot of women who think that they're having libido problems. Once they get talking, Kasperson notices that they might just be bored with the sex they're having. Anything that makes sex more enjoyable is going to make you want to have sex more, she says. Wow, brilliant. That's not to say that you have to go to extremes to mix things up, she says. The solution might be as simple as Goop's new sex pillow. They're designed to help you access positions, and I think this just comes down to the fact that Americans are fat. Is this something that helps fat people? And with them, especially pleasurable spots on the body that would otherwise be difficult or uncomfortable. Some ideas: position a sex pillow under your hips while you're belly down to ease strain on your lower back. Maybe it's for old people. To go easier on your hips while you're on top, put a pillow under your partner's hip to give a little lift. And to your point, it's just a pillow, I think, people. Place
Yeah.
a sex pillow beneath you when a partner is going down on you. It'll be gentler on the neck. You'll also appreciate a movable machine washable cover. So that's maybe why it's such a find. From there, the focus is on picking something that looks at home wherever you keep it. A lot of options, while totally functional, scream sex wedge. You might prefer something that says very cute throw pillow off duty. And I guess this does look discreet if you have guests over.
You know
Well, you
what,
tell me, does it?
Bill? In the magical spirit of Christmas, I think that any pillow can be a sex pillow.
This is the gift of the Magi right here.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
the 21st century version of it. I'm just going to get her a pillow and say
I
it's
want
the same.
everyone to look at their bed, to look at the pillow at their bed, and just, if you will it to happen, it can happen. Just fold it in half. I don't know what to tell you, people.
This sounds like a deleted speech from A Christmas Carol. Very
know.
Dickens. That is beautiful. I'd say for anyone that wants to get the libido going with their partner, wear the same bear onesie I got on right now. That'll get the libido right up there. I look like a borderline 50-year-old stuffed animal. So that right there, stand back, ladies.
Yeah, there's been this sort of viral question going around to women. Would you rather be alone with a bear or alone with a man? And a lot of women...
Is that true?
Yes, a lot of women say they would rather be alone with a bear than a man.
Wait, are they talking about the animal or a hairy gay man?
They are talking about the animal. They believe it is safer to be alone with a bear than alone with a man. Now, to that,
this is because
ladies,
you guys all watch too much true crime that you think that that's a fact.
I don't know. There are statistics that, some men do things they're not supposed to do. But gosh, ladies, just look at Bill in a bear onesie and maybe you can start to trust men again.
Yeah. But see, would we call me a man when I actually for those just listening, I put my bear helmet back on again?
It's not a helmet. That ain't going to protect you if you fall off a bike.
It's not protecting our offensive line either. See what I did
Yeah.
there? So yeah, that was the one that got the headlines this year of all the many amazing things available on the old.
But gosh, really tame though in comparison. We had her vagina scented candle.
And it was technically called "This Candle Smells Like My Vagina." That was the quote. Yeah.
Forgive me, I misnamed it. And then
I got 5 of them. I should know.
The vaginal eggs, I think, was another one.
Which was a rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at least this one seems a little more comfy.
You do like your pillows. So any last minute shoppers, you're not going to get it in time, particularly if you go through Amazon. I also have, and it's ladies' choice, either a Jeopardy or a No Suchinsky with regards to the holidays.
Oh, Joanne, she's got a good heart, and Bill, he's made of cocaine. No such thing, skis. There's no such thing, skis, baby.
One of these is not true.
Okay.
So I'll give you the 3 of them. This is a great story from our old pals at The Economist. Always makes us look so smart. Headline being, "Where does Santa come from?" And it does a brief Cliff Notes version of the history of Santa Claus, or Saint Nick, as he was originally called, as we all know. So Joe, Saint Nicholas was a 4th century Greek bishop. Today beloved in many Orthodox Christian countries. In Western Europe, he became known as the patron saint of children. Now, one of these 3 deeds he was supposed to have done that sort of brought him into sainthood is false, okay?
Okay,
So
one is false.
One is false. The other 2 are real. A, he supposedly gave dowries to 3 girls who otherwise would have been forced into prostitution.
Great.
Merry Christmas. B, restored 3 children to life after they were chopped to pieces and pickled in brine. C, domesticated reindeer after the village he was in had no more horses. One of those is false.
Oof. Okay, I definitely think the dowries is real. The chopping up of children, pickling and brining sounds wrong. But back then, who knows?
People were hungry.
The reindeer, I don't know if you picked that because we see reindeer in, current depictions of Santa, or if that's how those depictions came to be. But I'm going to say the bringing the chopped up children who were pickled and brined back to life is false.
You are wrong.
Damn.
You were on the right path, and you made me feel nervous, but you overthought it.
Yeah.
The reindeer thing, I threw that one in because
Yeah.
I knew how your mind works.
Yep.
No, restoring 3 children to life after they were chopped up into pieces and pickled in brine is one of the many things that eventually got him sainthood.
But like, how far along in the pickle and brining process were these chopped up children? Because I have
That I
to
don't have an answer
imagine
to.
it would have to be maybe like day 1, because I don't know that you could bring back a day 5 pickled child to
That's
life.
why there are no Saint Joannes. Don't fact check me on that. I'm sure you're going to find one.
I don't think there
are. The Reformation, and the rest is just some fun facts. I'll get your thoughts on them. The Reformation depreciated the veneration of saints, instead encouraging the Protestant faith to focus on Jesus. When the English church stopped celebrating St. Nicholas Day, Christmas a few weeks later became the main festive December celebration. That would later cause a conflation of St. Nicholas with the native of England, Father Christmas. They were originally separate figures, the latter being often depicted in green robes rather than red. I wonder if there's a correlation between him and the Ghost of Christmas Present, who often looks like that in A Christmas Carol. I think that's probably Father Christmas. But to England's colonies in America came many a Dutch Protestant. Their taboo against venerating saints had weakened somewhat, and so as to celebrate the gift-giving Saint Nicholas, see where I'm going with this, who had become kind of a folk figure, with his name shortened to Sinterklaas. From there, it's not hard to see how English speakers around them heard something like Santa Claus, first mentioned as an alternative to St. Nicholas in a newspaper in 1773. Now, the thing that I like about this is pretty much the big story behind Santa Claus is us doing a big old fuck you to England. American patriots in New York after the Revolution, who had embraced the celebration of St. Nicholas, reaching back to New York's history as a Dutch colony, a saint associated with the Dutch making a fitting anti-British symbol. So no more with Father Christmas, because screw England. We are now our own country. We're going all in on the Dutch. And so that's why that got separated. It was Santa Claus was popularized by Washington Irving. I did not know that. Excuse me. In A Knickerbocker's History of New York. Satirical history of the city published in 1809. It took off from there like a plague, wrote Jones. Santa's lore included the Jelly Belly and reindeer. It was fleshed out in Clement Clark Moore's poem Night Before Christmas, of course, in 1823. And a mid-19th century cartoonist, Thomas Nast, drew him for Harper's Weekly, giving him the now timeless look we know of today. Obviously, everyone has their own version. Pierre Noël in France, Jules Mandarin in Denmark, but they all look like America's Santa Claus, much to the ire of these countries who believe everything has gotten Americanized. And finally, Joe, this one's for you. In Catalonia, the beloved cagatio, now pronounce that correctly, or pooing log, is a hollow log bestowed with a face and covered with a blanket. The cagatio is whacked with a stick and thereby produces gifts from its back end. That is their Christmas.
Man, I'm living in the wrong country.
You really are. You really are. But yeah, the pooing log. And they do that to this day.
Yeah, I really appreciate the magic that sort of whatever version of Santa or Pologs you believe in, that it brings the holiday season, right? Like, that's delightful. There's really no sort of to me it doesn't seem bad to believe in something you can't see. Whatever, it's magic, it's fun, it's light. But man, the different traditions or lies that different families have is tough, because then when you go to someone else's family and yours doesn't believe the same, it's just, it gets complicated.
No kidding. And
You
in
know?
this day and age, it's real easy to find out what other people believe in. Well, you don't need to venture out of your
Yeah.
house to find out that they're
And
being lied to in a different way.
when I was a kid, back when I was growing up, was sort of the boom of the McMansion, which is like the 2-story houses, mini mansions in New Jersey, right?
Illinois
lot
is silly with them, sure.
A lot of my friends lived in those, and they had fireplaces. But I grew up in a ranch-style home without a fireplace. So
That's
how does
fancy
Santa-
speak for dumpster.
yes, how does Santa get into my house? Well, my parents said he has a key. He just has a key to the house. Sure, the reindeer fly, he goes all around. There's no reality necessary,
Yeah.
but he needs a key. Isn't that just so great?
Well, now, would you be the kind of mom that would go along with the Santa ruse, or would you be honest with your kids?
Oh, go along with it. 100%.
I don't know
It's
if I
fun.
would. Yeah, but then you're known as like if mom and dad are lying to me about this, what else are they not being truthful
They're lying
about?
to you about everything. Everything. Get
You're
used
right.
to it.
Yeah, they gotta learn. You're right. Yeah.
I do like the idea, though. I've seen how some parents are like, okay, Santa did not get you that iPod or iPod. I'm dating myself. iPad or Apple Watch or whatever.
Yeah, I want the credit.
It was me. And I like the idea of Santa giving socks or Santa giving, something small.
Well, did you do the thing where some were from Santa and some were from mom and dad?
Yes.
Yeah.
But Santa sometimes had different handwriting. And some of Santa's writing, looked a lot like my mom's. And others were a little sloppier like my dad's. But again, I didn't question it.
No.
Didn't question it.
No. It's you question it, then you're not getting you're getting coal next year,
Yeah.
Mine would, like, some cool stuff would be from Santa, but if it was something, it was like the number one thing that I asked for and they were somehow able to get it, well, that was from mom and dad.
Yeah.
The Optimus Prime, Transformers, of course, right there. That's how much it meant to me. But that took my mom, like, this before the internet, she had to go. It was impossible to find, but she found it. There ain't no way that was from Santa. My parents wanted me to know. They didn't put the effort into getting that thing, and still have it to this day.
What about, so your nephews are kind of at the age where they start to question or stop believing?
Well past it.
Well past it?
Oh, yeah. They're both teenagers. Wait a second, Joe. How old were you before you?
What? No, I mean, I was 4. What?
It was about 18, wasn't it? Was that the worst part about college? Meeting all
lost
these.
my virginity and my belief in Santa Claus.
It's usually how it goes. Happy holidays to you and yours, Joe. Anything else you want to get to, or I got nothing going on today. I haven't decided if I'm going to Jersey tonight or tomorrow. I don't know.
Traffic will probably suck no matter what. So
that's the thing. That's what I'm trying to figure out. If I do it today, it's got to obviously be before 5. But no one's working today, right?
Yeah, I think most people are off.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it might snow tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. Meaning today. Let's do a little more, you Joe. Okay. Well, if you hate Christmas, if it sucks for you, if you don't have family or you have a complicated family, that's okay. Christmas can just be another Wednesday.
It's a day off, man.
Yeah.
And get yourself a bear onesie. I am so comfortable right now.
Yeah.
I just don't want to leave, period.
Honestly, it is the gift that keeps on giving.
It really is. I love it. Well, give your family my best, and
Will do. Give your family my
barely
worst,
travel.
except Alfred.
Oh, well, that's nice. Well, I'm going to be giving them my worst.
Fair. All right. Happy holidays, y'all. Oh, and Hanukkah starts on Wednesday as well. So happy Hanukkah to all of our viewers as well.
My nephews are half Jewish. How many presents?
I know.
They get the
it's a lot.
Christmas and the Hanukkah, and it's who wins? Capitalism. That's the real winner here, not Jesus, not baby Jesus.
And go ahead on Amazon and buy my book, Capitalism, with a $sign for the S.
She's going to jail.
No, I'm not. Bye.
I'm sure glad that's over.
That's all for this episode of Mornin' with Bill and Joanne.
I wasn't even listening. I was listening to podcasts.
Shut up, Bill.
Subscribe to the show on Apple, Spotify, or anywhere you get podcasts.
Yeah, I wasn't listening either.
Very nice, Joanne. Touché.
For videos of this and other episodes, go to @MorninBillAndJoe on YouTube.
Bill, put the sword down.
Run, Joanne, run!
Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We would do it for you. Okay, that's a lie.
I never liked your show. Sorry, wasn't listening. See ya.